Hi, John Frycek here, again for discreetdevices.com. We're going to do a video today on electronic countermeasures. You know, bug sweeps, bugs in the night, listening devices, eavesdropping devices. Lots been going on with our government and with private entities getting the info on you. So I'm going to dispel here the real hard truth about what's going on. It's not going to be all about NSA stuff and CIA stuff. Listen, these guys and these gals are here to protect us in the Commonwealth of the United States. They don't really care about, who we're dating and what kind of pizza we had last night. They want to keep us safe from tyranny, from harm, and more or less they want to know if the bad guys, the terrorists, are doing things they shouldn't be doing. So with that being said, it's a fine line between privacy and keeping us safe. So I hope you know that there's a lot going on, mostly because of our safety. Without further ado, I'm going to explain some of the devices that are out there that spy on people. Some of these novice and beyond novice devices, somewhat quasi-professional devices, are normally accessible on the internet. Some of them are illegal, especially if they incorporate and transmit oral conversations. That is illegal. But most of the time we deal with video cameras that are motion activated, wireless, or internet IP wireless. And as long as they don't really necessarily incorporate sound and they're not put in a private place of expectation of privacy, those are big factors involved with liability and legalities. So let's talk about the things that could bug you. First off, let's deal with covert cameras. Covert cameras can be very, very small and minute these days. They could be either hardwired, such as this, or they could be placed in devices such as a light bulb. This light bulb can go screw in anywhere, go through the electrical outlet of 110, and feed back to a waiting receiver anywhere in a corporation, place of business, or residence. So you don't even know what's in a light bulb. Anything could be possible. With that being said, little covert cameras could be put into body-worn devices such as a common pen. This is a rechargeable USB operative DVR recording video pen. This could be incorporated into any business meeting, left behind to get information about you. Pretty dangerous, but a lot of times people also use this, like police and PIs, for of course lawful purposes. They get the goods on the bad guys, undercover sting operations, that sort of thing. There's also things in a small little desktop radio. Okay, this is a little desktop radio alarm, and it could have up to a 64 gig little mini SD card, and it takes brilliant pictures and full video via motion activation with time and date stamp. That's really cool. If the nanny's doing something she's not supposed to be doing, if someone's coming into your house and gaining illegal entry, you're gonna know. If anything else is happening, bumps in the night, burglary, anything, no one's gonna bother taking a little cheap clock radio. You're gonna find out exactly what happened when you're not there. That's cool. Going back to a body worn, how about a pair of librarian glasses? How do I look? Not so macho? Oh well. These glasses incorporate a hidden DVR and small miniature micro camera built into the frame right in the middle, above my nose. And what's really cool about this, no matter where you put your head, go up or down or all the way around, you're filming for about an hour and a half. You're getting live video on this little DVR built in. You popped out the little SD card, micro SD card out of here, put it into a card reader, presto, you're live at 5 with the news of life on your PC or laptop. Very cool. This little USB hard drive is not just a hard drive to store data and information on it. It also serves as a covert camera, motion activated. And what's really cool, if you're in a presentation or you're filming a presentation and you have the privilege to use the audio for a presentation, slip this out of your pocket and record it for notation and for further usage, not to be used repetitiously. Remember, when you put these things like in locker rooms, restrooms, or any other avenue of where there's supposed to be privacy, you could be in trouble with the law, buddy. So don't do it. But what's really cool about this is that you can power it up and charge it up by the USB to any computer for a couple hours. You get up to 5 hours of record time, motion activated on this little guy. And it's only around 79 buckaroos. That's right, 79 buckaroos. Very cool little James Bond jealousy device right here at discreetdevices.com. Moving on, my personal favorites. If you need to record a business meeting or some type of personal transaction where all parties, or at least one party, knows, that's all about your state laws, this is really cool. Check this out. This is a little miniature digital voice recorder. Very small, very thin. 15 to 17 hours of recording and up to 177 hours of recorded voice or audio messages. Very cool, very small, in the pocket. Love this little device. If you're on or about, like say you're in a meeting, or you're checking out garage sales, or you're a realtor checking out, you want to make some mental notes, this little guy is for you. Very cool. Also offered at discreetdevices.com. About 179 bucks, but very cool. Like again, it makes James Bond jealous. Those are the set devices, along as more video cameras that have IR, which means infrared, they could see at night. This little guy right here, smaller than a sugar cube, can see up to 10 feet in complete darkness. So if you have someone busting into your basement, your warehouse, and it's totally pitch dark, and the burglar thinks, heck, the lights aren't on, I'm gonna feel my way around like a night stalking burglar, you'll catch him with this little guy. Not a problem. Covert little camera offered by us. These are little devices that you should be very careful of too if you think that you're being eavesdropped on or you're being spied upon. With a clear notion, a clear mind, you should really be rational and reasonable in your head. Don't be rambunctious by thinking, ha 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 ha, they come to take me away. Bugs and things are all around me. Try to keep a cool head. Just beware of Greeks bearing free gifts. No pun intended, Greek America. I love you, and I love everything you cook with when it involves lemon. Opa! Love it. However, that old saying, beware of Greeks bearing free gifts, well, that could be the truth and validity in the matter. If something's new around your office, around your house, whether it be a plant, a fake plant, heck, even a can opener, you don't know what could be in there, and you could be subject to an investigation. Whether you're involved with a real serious legal situation, domesticated situation where there's a lot of kids and assets and millions involved, you never know what someone's going to do to gather that information to better their case. Now, if you're a fugitive and a bad guy, and Uncle Sam and a lot of different three-letter digit agencies are looking at you, well then, hey, buddy, gal, you're in trouble, and you probably deserve to go to the Gray Bar Motel, otherwise known as jail. The fact of the matter is, if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, none of my countermeasures devices that are commonly available to the public are going to save you from Uncle Sam or Lady Justice. So clean your act up and forget about it. But if you are subject to surveillance by, like I said, normalcy situations, novice situations, or third world countries, let's say, because let's face it, knowledge is power, especially when there's a new dolly coming out for Christmas time. Oh yeah, there's other third world countries, they're going to spy on us Americans. It's proven, and in 27 years of my empirical belief and my standards of doing this service, yes, it does happen. And I've seen it, and I've seen it again, and I'll see it in the future. So be careful out there. At Discreet Devices, we offer these services, full, complete Tscm services, which stands for Technical Surveillance Countermeasures. Tscm services have been performed by my office for 27 years. We have a whole array of different electronic countermeasures equipment that will detect these said devices. okay? And what's really cool about it is we do a really good job by sweeping out the bugs. And we can find those, okay? And give you not only 100% security, but peace of mind as well. Let's talk about some other avenues that we should be careful of. A lot of times over the advent of the internet, you could obtain, let's say, a pen that looks like a pen. Here's the bottom half of it, and it writes like a pen. Only when you press that button on top of the pen, it becomes a voice-activated recorder. Uh-oh, that could be a problem, okay? Off. This could record up to 20 hours, which means if this is left behind by that traveling salesman who wants to do a deal with you and he wants to use the restroom, he might leave something like this in that room and you could be subject to your conversations being recorded. So be careful. Let's go back again to another USB little portable hard drive. This is not just a little portable hard drive. This could take a SIM card, okay? And this can take like the same format as a cell phone. Someone can call this thing up and listen to your conversations anywhere in the world. Yes, folks, anywhere in the world. This could be plugged into the back of your computer and it sustains all the recorded surrounding verbal connotations. And guess what? It could be accessed again anywhere in the world. Not for sale by me, for the public, because it is not a legal device. This is deemed inoperable. The battery has been taken out for this, and I use this to test my own personnel, which means I sometimes lay these things around. I go, hey guys, sweep the place. Let's see if we can find things like this and dissect them and find out who did it. Grab those bad guys. Be careful. Electronics are around. Not to make you a nervous Nelly or not to put you over the edge, but things do happen. So I showed you some of the covert cameras and covert somewhat listening devices. Let me now show you what's out there to detect these things. If there's a wireless video camera anywhere 300 to 400 feet around you, what's really awesome is the Camera Hunter, sold and offered by discreetdevices.com. This cool device can pick up 900, 1.2 gigahertz, 5.8, and even 2.4 wireless cameras. It can detect if someone's watching you from afar. That's right, clock radios, light fixtures, anything that emits radio frequency involving a video. My little hunter buddy really saves the day. And oh yeah, before I even walked into homes and businesses, I turned on my little buddy here, and presto, I'm on the news without my consent. Got it here covered. The wireless camera hunter. Love it. Moving along, sometimes I want to know that is there a hardwired video camera, such as this little guy in a room, in a car, anywhere. This little guy. This is called the Spy Finder. And what this does, it emits high frequency, high powered, here it comes, the cameraman's gonna freak, woo! High powered LEDs. And this bounces off the oscillating chip inside this camera, and when I look through this hole, I could clearly see that there's a covert camera winking at me, because the LEDs bounce off the oscillating chip, whether it's powered or unpowered, and it blinks at me. Just like a beautiful girl walking down the street on a beautiful summer day. I wish. Anyway, what's really cool about this, you will find the hardwired cameras if you use the Spy Finder. About 110 bucks. And of course, discreetdevices.com. Moving along. So be careful if people are wearing watches. Forgot to tell you about this one. Video camera and a watch. Ooh. A lot of people use this too, of course, in business meetings. Let's just say we're moving along and we want to say, hey, what's the smallest bug detector in the world? I'd have to say it's the Frycek, made by what they say former KGB agents. That's what they say, I don't know. What's really cool about this little guy is awesome. This battery operated little bug detection kit can pick up cell phones, digital, CDMA, GSM, and analog devices anything that records and transmits oral sound conversations. Very cool little device. A lot of my high-end clientele love this device because they can slip it in during a business meeting right into their pocket. They can have it ready, willing, and able, of course, right next to their money belt, which they give to me. Just joking. What's really cool about this is, again, it's easy and affordable, rechargeable, and very accurate. If you want something a little bit, maybe some non-technical, you can go with something like this. This is very cool. It's called the Protec 1206i. It's really cool. This picks up CDMA, some digital signals, and some analog. Immediately you will walk in the room, you can find out who's naughty or nice by emitting a tone such as this. And it'll activate voice-ready activated micro bugs that transmit your oral conversation, and it'll lead you to the dirty guy playing the dirty game of information on you. A very cool device that's got LED panels over here, and watch this as I give you a little demo. You can clearly see what I call a Christmas light go on. Watch. Boom. See the LEDs going up? That means that something is transmitting in the area. And if you're subject to anything like that, you're going to know with the 1206i. Very cool. Now, let's just say you really don't want to spend a lot of money on these said countermeasures devices to find. You can go with something very novice for around $49-50. You can have a little keychain called the Ghost Hunter. Not really for spirits, folks. That's another channel. This is the little hunter that can find, uh-oh, there's something wrong here. A little peace of mind little hunter, novice device to say, hey, am I being watched on by some novice wireless devices? A little device like this called the Ghost Hunter will find it. Real cool little device. If you're light on the pocketbook, very cool. You know, a lot of times when people think they're being eavesdropped on or followed, maybe perhaps they're being followed in their automobiles, meaning, hey John, is there a GPS tracker on my vehicle? Well, GPS trackers have come a long way. And now in most states, you need someone's permission, or law enforcement officers need to get a subpoena before they can put it on someone's car. As being a licensed private investigator, if we're following, like say, suspect cheaters or people who work for corporations, as long as the corporation owns the car, fair game for me to put a tracker on it. As long as my client has a wife who he owns the car, we can watch her or him as well. As long as there's ownership involved in the vehicles, then this is legal. But let's discuss a couple things about GPS trackers and get all the hoopla out and all the sensationalism out. They are small. There's no question about it. They're very tiny, very small. This said device by Covert Track, this little cool little guy can go anywhere in the car and transmit a GSM signal, shaking hands with a GPS satellite up in our heavens. That's right, anywhere in the world, up to 5-second locates. Very, very cool and very affordable actually. Around $299. A lot cheaper than a PI. Sorry, it is though. We are PIs, but whatever. This little device is really a big game saver. It's very cool. If you want to put it underneath the vehicle, of course, that you own or someone owns, this is a little magnetic device. That's a little carry case, and it's weatherproof. Looks like this. All you do is pop that little baby in like that, close it on up, and you got these nice little heavy little magnets on the bottom. Put that underneath the vehicle. You're ready to go. Wherever that car goes, the little tracker goes, you'll know. Flip open your laptop or your smartphone, not a problem, as long as of course you got internet. You'll get it. You'll see it moving right and dancing right along the screen. And you'll know where that person is or they shouldn't be. Not bad. Now, if that's the case, how do you find things like this on your car, let's say? I guess I'm a little hypocritical here in business, right? We sell these things, but we also locate these things. Hopefully not in the same day. But there's a yin, there's a yang, right? It is what it is. These devices should always be searched for with what they call a hard physical search. Somewhere underneath the car, by usually the gas tank area, or by where the tire compartment is, inside or outside. These little babies don't really like to hang out inside the dashboard or inside the front hood where the engine is. A lot of electronics might confuse it. So it's not a good thing to put that there. So always look for these things underneath the car or in the back cavities of the car, whether it be a sedan, two-door, smaller vehicle, or of course an SUV, which everybody drives these days, even though we're not living in the woods. Go figure. SUVs even. Very cool device though. What I really want to talk about though is cell phone security now. Now let me get all the hoopla out of there, okay, about what you're thinking, all what you want to reasonably believe and what you've been hearing in the media, okay? Yes, it is possible for digital cell phones to be listened to, and government entities can do that, but they are documenting words that shouldn't be used in regular conversations, leading to possible either organized crime or terrorism plots against the United States or any partnerships with the United States. So let's keep that in mind. Again, they don't care what we're buying at Target Superstore or what kind of anchovies or sausage we want on our pizzas, and I really don't think they're caring about too much how about you got drunk on a Saturday night. What they're wondering is if someone building a bomb to use for an illegal fashion. That's really what they're listening for, folks. So let's put a little bit more credibility back in our government and thank them for protecting our Rumpelstiltskin. But having said that, can someone listen to you surreptitiously outside of a government agency? And the answer is yes, they could. They could put a downloadable executable file on your phone, but they usually need to have the physical presence of your cell phone. That's right. They need to hook this bad boy up to their computer and put in a USB device that has an executable file just to read your emails, your texts, your pictures, to and from or inside outgoing phone calls, but not your oral live conversations, just the numbers that you're dialing. Yes, that could be done. So, but they have to have physical presence of your phone. Everybody says, no, John, you're wrong. You could buy it for $49 on the internet. Baloney. Could you imagine the havoc and the security breaches we'd have in the United States throughout the world if we could, like, say, you know, bug anybody's phone, including, like, say, Victoria's Secret supermodels? I don't think it's going to happen. You cannot just buy an executable file and send it to their phone and lodge it on the phone and all of a sudden be listening to their conversations. The FBI, everybody would be knocking on your door saying, bye-bye, you're going to jail. Not going to happen. But having said that, it's possible for people to be listening with certain forms of software from third world countries or from major corporations. What's cool about that is I got a little trick for that. Well, I got a little GSM blocker device, okay? What this does is it masks out a white noise and you simply put your cell phone in the little black box. What it does is it allows whoever's listening when your phone's even not on to be blocked. It's not a jammer. Those are illegal. You cannot purchase legally, lawfully, cell phone jamming or GPS jamming devices in the United States. It could be used for erroneous and bad purposes. But this emits a white noise that will block out the microphone in this little guy. When you take it out, they can hear you again. A very cool device if you want to keep your conversations el privado. So these and many other cool, insightful devices are available at discreetdevices.com. I'm John Frycek, and I thank you for exploring another adventure with me on the world of electronics. I'll see you soon.